developing with speed. Final two. Oh, what happened there? The outlook is gone. Tries to eye up Momo. Thought about diving to the inside there. Headed as the mid-pack is, as here comes Snowstorm. Look at this. Momo right on the tail of Yellow Line. Good function. Marble diving into that first turn. Down the front stretch they go, drafting between the three of them. For the final time this season, welcome along to qualifying for Marbula One. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. We return to Midnight Bay, site of the classic finale in the last season and the first season of Marbula One, a track that throws some interesting challenges in the form of its shape, but also the endurance required to get to the end. We see the teammates of all of those who have finished the season. That means that each team had their two runners compete in 6 Grand Prix apiece. The individual championship is already decided. The team championship is already decided as well. But don't let that fool you that there's nothing to play for as we come into this night race, because that is anything but the truth. Hop and Lemon Lime start things off for the two runners that lead off in this final session of qualifying. We'll see where they come. Hop had a dreadful season. 2 DNQs, a couple other times, did qualify inside the top 10, but has struggled to bring it home. 2 14th place finishes and a 7th in there as well. But Lemon Lime can't do much better. Lemon Lime just 1 DNQ, but finishes a 14th, 15th, 15th, and 9th. Lime, the teammate, started 16th in the last race and finished there as well. It has been a season to forget for the Limers also. Razzie out on track along with Minty Fresh. And Minty Fresh going a bit quicker, building on the time through the second sector. Razzie was a full second off through sector number 1, has clawed some of that back. Fresh goes 27.037 to go P1 for now. Razzie comes home in 3rd. Minty Fresh, another marble with 3 DNQs, but has had 2 straight top 10 finishes, including a top 5 back at Pallet Park. Razzie, on the other hand, only had 1 DNQ, but it came at the last Grand Prix in which Razzie attempted to qualify. That was at Misty Mountain. Rima and C out on track right now, neither of whom is burning up the timesheets. Over a half a second clear for C, nearly 1.5 seconds far behind for Rima. C comes home in 4th, Rima around in 5th. Still not the slowest time that we've seen. That dubious distinction goes to Lemon Lime. Around through the first sector now, Snowy and Yellow. Yellow, a marble that did get pole position back at the Mo Motorway, finished 3rd, but the rest of the season has been 7th, 15th, DNQ, and a 10th to Yellow's credit. Teammate Yell Up had 10th, 11th, 6th, 11th, 12th, and a DNQ. Yellow around the final turn goes 5th. Snowy usurps Yellow and notches into that 5th spot. Snowy 3rd place in qualifying back at the Mo Motorway. That was the high of the season, 6th at the Arctic Circuit, but it's been downhill from there. Orangen and Bumble coming up now. Orangen's best finish, 7th back at Pallet Park. That was also the site of Orangen's best qualifying as well, but 2 seconds off the pace through the first sector is not where you want to be. Bumble, in the meantime, has been running a bit better and will come across in 3rd place. Orangen comes through in 8th, but not quite where they hope to be. Bumble has trended well at times. Qualified 5th back at Minty Mania, 2nd at the Honey Dome, 2nd at Misty Mountain, but in that Misty Mountain Grand Prix fell all the way down to 15th. Now Clutter and Cerulean are out there. Clutter, our pole sitter from Misty Mountain, 2nd place finisher, back at the Mo Motorway. Purple in Sector 1, green in Sector 2. Cerulean goes purple in Sector 2. Clutter's going to come across and takes P1. Can Cerulean Knock him down one? Yes, indeed. Cerulean goes to the top spot for now. That is a marble that finished third back at the Aquamarine, qualified third at Misty Mountain, but had fallen out of the top 10 a couple of times. You see on the left that scoring pylon, the 4 at the bottom, they will not qualify for this race weekend at the end of Q1. If you are 16th through 9th, your spot is set for the race tomorrow. The top 8 will move on to Q2, which is a 2-lap shootout that will set spots 5 through 8, and then the top 4 will move on to Q3, and we'll have another 2-lap shootout to go for pole. Wispy 11th, Nemo to 6th, going purple in that final sector. Not a bad finish on that lap for the winner back at the Raceway. Thus far, bottom 4, Orangin, Wispy, Rima, and Lemon Lime. Wispy was one of those marbles that got pole back at the Raceway, kind of went back and forth for a while, and really hasn't been able to get back up on top. Certainly not matching the exploits of teammate Waspy, who went from last to first back at Pallet Park. Bolt and Pulsar right now, as Pulsar meanders down the front stretch, not looking terribly quick, and that reflects by an 11th place finish. Bolt, no better, 2.81 seconds off the pace, slots into the bottom 4. So now 16 marbles have run, and Lemon Lime is starting to be a bit nervous. And you think, Bolt and Wispy, the host team for the Midnight Wisps, down there in the relegation zone. Not where they want to be. Rapidly comes up now. Our 3rd place finisher at Misty Mountain. Mallard is also on track for the Green Ducks, a team that had hoped to do really well in the stretch, but Billy couldn't do it in the previous Grand Prix, 14th to 10th. Rapidly comes across in 9th. Mallard, 14th. Ooh, just on the bubble. And Lemon Lime will not qualify, nor will Rima. Bolt and Wispy, their fates yet to be determined by these final 2 runners, Hazy and Yellow Eye. Yellow Eye, a 2-time winner this season. Hazy, a 2-time winner as well. Both of them well off the pace through sector number 1. Hazy only lost 2 hundredths more in the 2nd sector. That's better. 17 hundredths for Yellow Eye. Hazy comes across, will not be eliminated. What about Yellow Eye? Same. Qualifies in the top 10. Will not move out of Q1, but won't be completely eliminated either. Not a DNQ. The eliminated will be Bolt, Wispy, Rima, and Lemon Lime. Crazy Cat's Eyes do not get out of Q1, but remember, they have already clinched the overall championship. Still some redemption arcs on the table here as we get ready for the 2-lap shootout. And we'll set 5 through 8. Who will find that redemption at the end of 2 laps? It's looking briefly like the Minty Maniacs and Cerulean, who leads the way from the entire field through sector number 1. Clutter back in 3rd, Bumble, and then these bottom 4 that will be eliminated thus far are Razzie, Hop, C, and Nemo. There's a big gap to the back 3, but that final transfer spot is up for grabs. Nice pass there by Minty Fresh to come onto the front stretch and arrest the momentum of Cerulean to fall back into the clutches of Clutter. Bumble and Razzie still fighting back there. Those back 3, C, Hop, and Nemo, need to pick up the pace if they don't want to be eliminated. Razzie in 5th, trying to get by Bumble, or else that will be the end of the day for the Raspberry Racers runner. Minty Fresh is out in front, well clear of the field at this point. Cerulean in 2nd place, Clutter and Bumble, who has gotten a bit of space over Razzie. This does not set pole, but those top 3 will not be eliminated. Ooh, slow down the front stretch. Can Razzie make the move? Yes! Razzie advances. Just barely. Bumble got out of sorts, exiting the final turn, and could not keep off the walls. What a turn of events. It just goes to show you it is not over until it's over. See the marbles leaning into the turns on that shot. What happened here? This is the final turn. Ooh, some contact between Clutter and Bumble. Could that have contributed? I don't think Razzie cares either way. As it is, Razzie still in the running to get pole position. Ready for Q3. Top 4 are waiting. Who will get the final pole position of this season of Marbula One? Minty Fresh has a terrible start, rides the rails, up on the curbs, and falls to dead last. Cerulean holds at the front, but good speed coming from Clutter as they go through the tunnel. We look down there, we can see the desperation on Minty Fresh, trying to get back up to those top few marbles. Clutter, speed onto the front stretch, moves to the inside. A block from Cerulean stops the advancement there, but 1 lap to go. Clutter will not take too kindly to those shoulders. Moves to the outside, both of them high up on the curves. That's going to let Razzie close in ever so slightly. And Clutter falling into the same trap there, bumps up against Razzie. That sends Razzie back in the direction of Minty Fresh. Cerulean and Clutter through the tunnel for the final time. Onto the backstretch. Well, in front is Cerulean. And here comes Clutter. Is it going to be enough? No! Cerulean captures pole position here at Midnight Bay for the first time. The Cobalts celebrate. Cerulean's previous best qualifying had been 3rd back at Misty Mountain. The Cobalts are on top. Clutter finishes 2nd in front of Razzie and Minty Fresh. Bumble and C round out the first 3 rows. Here's what happened to Minty Fresh. Everybody did the smart thing otherwise and stayed off of those curbs. It's fine if you have some speed, but coming off a starting gate didn't work too well. Now the question is, who will get the final win of the Marbula One season? Stay tuned and find out tomorrow.